What's up, baby? Yeah. Yeah, guys, this is little Miss Anastasia. She's coming to join me. So I wanted to show you. This is what we got today. We actually filled up on our typically I don't show videos like this, so I'm kind of a little off on this. There's Rudy online, Alaska Prepper. He calls it his payday prep. I guess this would be called our payday prep. So today we filled up on very unusual things. Some of these things were on our list. We actually had a couple other things that were on our list, but they did not have. So we filled up on things like everything bagel seasoning because we really like this seasoning. It's really good on eggs, actually. But it's also good on breads and stuff like that. And since we do bake a lot during the wintertime, we figured we'd get one extra thing. And then we filled up on things that we typically almost never fill up on, which was potatoes. That one actually we do actually get quite a bit of. We typically have been putting little bits of potatoes aside. Even though we can grow our own potatoes, it's always good to have a little extra on the side just in case. We also got mac and cheese. We don't have anything mac and cheese at all, like nothing mac and, in fact, in all of our long-term food storage, we don't have a single thing of mac and cheese, of anything like this. So we figured, you know what, since the grocery store was, Costco was running low on, it seemed like other very basic staples, which is typically what we buy, we went ahead and got the mac and cheese. We also got some ramen noodle. Why? Because the fact that, guess what, we don't have any ramen noodle. So we I told my husband at one point, I said, we stocked up on stuff that was kind of like the junk food stuff, really. Typically the stuff I don't ever stock up on. Now, cacao powder or cocoa powder. We actually had quite a bit of it, but we decided we would add a little bit to our supplies for long-term food storage. And I saw that they had it, so therefore, guess what? I got some. Last bit is some evaporated milk and also some sweetened condensed milk. Sweetened condensed milk is really tasty when you put it in teas or in desserts, fudge, all that kind of stuff. Evaporated milk, you can use it in cooking when you're making like a cream sauce, anything like that. So I typically, oh my goodness, I have tons of this kind of stuff in our long-term food storage. This type of stuff is, I find, very handy to have. So yeah, so that is, it's not a very big haul, but you know what, the thing is we had other things that we were getting too, and that were just our everyday stuff, fruits, vegetables, that type of thing. I will say this, the grocery shopping this time at Costco was insane cost-wise. It was, like everything that we got, okay, we got a couple of extras. We got some chocolate. We got some pastries. In fact, I'm about to record all of this stuff in my handy dandy little spreadsheet, and I'm probably going to sit down with a pastry and a cup of coffee because I'm worn out now. All day long, we're working since 6 o'clock in the morning, and then going out grocery shopping, getting a couple things done, and racing home. And now it's like, oh my gosh, like 5 o'clock. I will say, yeah, it's been a long day. So anyways, I haven't done a video in a really long time, and I do apologize for it. And I'm sorry I did not take actually any pictures at Costco, because I will say that all of the shelves were relatively stocked. They did have limits on water, toilet paper, paper towels, I think it was. I saw the paper products. But, we stayed away from those areas because we really don't need anything like that. When we buy stuff nowadays, we are buying stuff like this. They did not have, however, jasmine rice. That one, I was like, are you kidding me? No jasmine rice? All they had was cow roast. And they had like the smaller bags of rice. We don't typically buy those. We buy the big bags of jasmine. So this means that now I'm going to have to go, to Amazon to buy rice. I'll probably just buy it bulk, like a big bag of it. That's typically what we do. We buy all of our things bulk. So we buy wheat, berries, we buy corn, peas, beans, barley, millet, all of this type of stuff. We buy it bulk. You save money in the long run, even though it's an expensive thing up front. So anyways, yeah, they didn't have any of that. They didn't have any cornmeal. They didn't have any non-fat dehydrated milk. Yeah, so I was actually surprised that they even had the cacao powder. Was kind of waiting to see if they had it, and lo and behold, they did. But, oh, and I was kind of excited because they had eggnog, and you know what? I think my family is needing a little bit of normalcy, a little bit of happy, okay. And so we got eggnog, and that way we can have eggnog with, I don't know, sometime coming up here. And my son has just decided to say hi.
Hi.
So, yeah, so he was my partner in crime today when we went grocery shopping. He helped me load up the truck and, load in the groceries, and we had some good talk while we were looking at everything, and, kind of also had a reminder to be grateful for everything that we have and all of the blessings that we have in our life. So, including the ability to buy things like all of this, and the thought that we have been doing this for so long that we can actually put something like mac and cheese away and go, you know what, this is not exactly something we massively eat. In fact, very rarely do we eat mac and cheese. And my son said, oh my gosh, this is junky stuff. But you know what? It's there when you need it, if you need it. And even though they say, prep what you store and store what you, or wait, what is it saying? Eat what you prep and prep with, or I don't know, something like that. There was only store the things that you would normally eat. Well, we do eat mashed potatoes. Now, we typically don't eat those type of mashed potatoes, but we do eat mashed potatoes. Could I make those work? Sure, I could. Mac and cheese? Yeah, I could eat it. It's not our favorite thing, but we could eat it. Ramen noodle. Okay, I'm about to say this right now. My son and I both love ramen noodle. It's one of our pleasure, like our cheap pleasures. That's really a junk food. It's totally junk food. But I always say to everybody, live a balanced life. In other words, don't go too extreme on either way. Stay balanced. And so sometimes, yes, I will succumb along with my son. We typically will succumb to ramen noodle, especially if you put fried eggs in it, like, scrambled eggs is really good. And maybe even some garlic scapes. Yeah. So anyways, I'll stop that. Yeah, so we kind of had a good talk about being grateful. And I think that's one thing that we're forgetting about in the world right now. The world is really crazy right now. It's really insane. And I think we need to remember to practice some gratitude moving forward. Practicing a little bit of gratitude sometimes can give us a little lift in our day and remind us that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So with that being said, this is Tamara from Bells of the North Homestead, and I am out.